So in this demo, we'll be looking on how to analyze logs, how to do log analysis, how to investigate logs through a SIEM tool like Splunk. You can use ELK, you can use whatever the tool you want. In this demo, we'll be using Splunk and we'll be looking at the abilities and the search abilities that Splunk provides. We are not affiliate for Splunk, but we will be using it for the case of this demo. And I want to show you in this demos what to look for inside the log file, and how you can find clues of malicious activities inside the log file, and how you can data mine for more information, how you can correlate information together and write a story from inside the logs. Most of the time you will have logs with terabytes of data, and you need to look inside all of this data and find just this little request that represents a malicious activity. So that's what we'll look in today, and how you can do that with Splunk. To download Splunk, you just go into splunk.com, create an account and log in with your account. This step is needed, and then click on Free Splunk. Splunk has a free version as well as a free trial version, but they don't allow you to download the free version. They only allow you to download the trial version from Splunk Enterprise. You will click download free 60 days trial, follow with the installation process. You can install it on Windows, on Linux, as you see here, or on Mac. Follow with the installation process and install your Splunk, create the username and password, and then start the service, and you will get into this dashboard. After you log in, you'll get into your local host, and then the port number, mostly 8000. And once you log in, you can change your license into a free license, a free forever license. You can do that by go to settings. You go to settings and licensing, and from licensing you can change the type of license you follow. Here I set it to the free license, but you can click on that button, and you will see here the enterprise license. This is mostly will be the license that you already have. You need to change the enterprise license to free license and click save. The free license has no authentication or user and role management, and has only 500 megabytes per day to digest. So your Splunk can has as many data as you wish, terabytes, but you cannot upload more than 500 megabytes per day. That will be enough if you are in the learning phase, or you are an incident handler that looks into specific data from different machines, let's say the event logs in these machines, or some other information that you can that there are just few megabytes that you will need to look at. But if you want to have something for an enterprise, you will need either the enterprise license, or you can move to something that is free, like Elasticsearch or ELK and Security Onion. So once you manage with your license, you can get back to Splunk Enterprise, and now we can add data. We can upload some data and see how that looks like in Splunk, how we can search through this data. As we described, we have a web attack that had happened against a Drupal website. Drupal is a CMS. It's a content management system. And basically, we have seen that it has been hacked, and somebody has uploaded a shell, or kind of a PHP code that executes his own command, and he's taking control over the system, is taking control over the server, and uses his server for malicious activities. So we need to investigate that, how that happened, what are the clues for that. What we have here is we have the logs from when we installed Drupal until the attack happened. It's a very small log, it's not big, it's a few megabytes. And we will upload that one here and investigate how this attack happened. So once you click on add data, you will see this page. You can ignore this part and go here directly to upload files from your computer. Click here, and now you can select your file. We will use Drupal web attack.log, and once we upload it, click next, and then you will see here what are the file type for this file. Here he discovered that it's access combined. You can choose something else. You can say it's an application. It's basically log for PHP or weblog or WebSphere. Splunk has an ability to detect the type of logs by itself. You can trust it most of the time. If not, you can choose one from these, like it's a send email syslog or whatever the type of logs is. They have so many different types of logs that they digest and understand. Syslogs, Windows share syslog, Linux logs, Linux audit, and so on. So they have so many different types, and they are able also to detect the type, as you can see here. And they also detected the word that the timestamp inside the logs, so they can use that to put it to create the timeline of activities for you. Once you select the type here, the source type, or you rely on his source type, you click next, not this next, click next here, and here it will request from you some information, something called the host, which is just a name for this type of logs. This name is mostly related to the machine that has been infected. Let's say the host is Drupal server. For us, probably for you, it's another case like David machine, whatever you want to call it. For the case of this training, we will call it Drupal web attack, and then review. It's uploaded file. The file name is Drupal web attack.log. It's access combined. The host is Drupal web attack, and the index is default. You don't need to care about index for now, and click submit or submit, and then start searching. Once you're here, he will create this query for you, which basically gets only this file that you have uploaded. The source file is Drupal _web attack.log. The host is Drupal web attack, and the source type is access combined. You can ignore this part. You can only search by the host, and you can include multiple files inside one host. So you can include all the web attack logs inside. Let's say you have 200 files, or you have the logs that has been split into 200 files. You can have all of them under the host Drupal _web attack, or whatever the host you want to write. So this is the good use of host. It's not only relying on the file name, it relies on a name that you name all these logs with. And as you can see, also it include different files and different types of logs just inside one host. Anyway, here the host is Drupal web attack, and here it has all the activities that had happened. We have over 8,600 log entries. There's so much of information has happened here, and we need to understand what exactly had happened. These first two lines are a bit broken, but from here we can see all the suspicious activities. So from here we have lots of things that happened. We can see that he was able to understand the referrers. He was able to understand here's the files that have been accessed. There is install. There's install.php, there's index.php, there's setup.php, eval, standard input or std input.php, this unknown file.php. This is something really suspicious. Did we upload this PHP file or not? There's the login.env, form login, readme.txt, and system. We can start investigating further by clicking on any one of them here. Let's say we click on this file, just this file, because it looks suspicious, and he will create the query for you. So he say the host is Drupal web attack, and the file that is being accessed is equal and between between double quotation the name of the file. And here he lists all the queries have done for that file. So let's say we want to see how many IPs try to access this strange PHP file. So we can see here, let's say the client IP, and here's all the IPs have accessed this one. So it's like 5 IPs. We can see that one of them has 55 requests. The other is 20 and 10 and 6 and 6 is not much, but has been accessed by multiple different people. We can see here that it has here the IP, the request IP, the timeline, when that happened. We can check when that started to happen. So it's from February 4th to February 23. If we remove that file, we see the complete timeline. So here we have from September 21 until April 2021, from September 20 till April 2021, but the access to this file has only happened between 5th of February until the 23rd of February. So it's a very, very limited time where this file has been accessed. This is itself something very, very suspicious. We can take a look at the requests. We have only 97 requests. You can start scrolling through all the requests, or you can actually start investigating further. So here we can see that this get is get slash this PHP and then underscore command and then echo and then some base64 data. This is something looks quite strange. What is the command is being taken, and what is the echo is mostly like a system command, like a shell command. So this looks very, very suspicious. We see here after all of this, he is basically use base64 command to decompress or decode this base64 data, and then he use sh. Sh is shell, is symbolic for shell on Linux, and it might be used to execute this code. So echo and then base64 data. If you don't know what's base64, base64 is basically a way to encode in programming. It's a kind of a way to encode some data, to convert it into from being unreadable format like a binary or hex information into a readable text format. So it's just a way to I wouldn't say encrypt because it doesn't have a password to encrypt. It's just encoding, kind of like compressing or something like that. But it's anyway, it's just another way for presenting this data. We can take that data and go to base64 decode. As you see here, he is already using base64 to decode. /d means decode, and then he is executing that as a command. So we can see, okay, what is this data? What this data actually means. If we click the code here, we can see here that he is trying to kill a process that's a command bkill, process kill, and then some information. He is trying to kill the syslog. Syslog is basically a Linux a tool to collect log information about what's happening in the system. So first he's trying to kill this one to stop the logs. He's trying to kill other processes as well, and then he is communicating with curl. Curl is basically a command to a Linux command to execute. To basically request, do an HTTP request or connect to a website and download the results. And here he's using curl to connect to this, to basically all of this HTTP request is trying to connect to this website through this link and use that to basically execute. So he is basically downloading something over the internet from this URL, and then he is execute them as commands on the system. What's exactly being downloaded, we don't know. We need to investigate further, but we know that he is basically executing commands on this page, which we don't know how this page has actually appeared first time, but we know that there is this page that's included in our website. We don't know where it came from, and it takes a command as a parameter, and this command is executed on the shell, on the system itself, on the Linux server, and this command includes base64 data, and this base64 data after the code is basically killing some processes, stopping the logs from continuing, downloading something from the internet, and then execute them as a command. So this is what's happening here, and we see this is continuing over and over again. Here's another thing is being executed. We have here another command being executed, and we have this request continuing over and over. Even from different IPs, we are seeing these commands are being executed. So it looks like the attacker is changing his IP through the time. Probably he's using a VPN or something, but that's what we can see so far. We see this has been executing different commands along the way, executing this one, and this data has been requested, and he continues to do so along the way. We can see, we can use this as a search up here, like that, to say that it only appears once. That means that these commands are being changing through the time. We can take another one with the 2 equals. You need to add the 2 equals. It's part of the base64. And then we can decode these new ones and see what's this command. Still, he's trying to kill the syslogs, trying to kill different other processes. He is then requesting this website. Maybe it's the same, maybe a bit different, but it's the same start, the same exact domain, and then a different URL. And we see that he's continuing doing this over and over again, executing different malicious commands. So that's something we're able to find. Now we need to know how this file appeared first time. Multiple things we can do here is that we can search for these IPs. If client IP is equal to this one, or that one, or this, all of this 5 client IPs that we have up here, we can search if client IP is equal to any one of them. Or we can take one by one, so we can just click on one of them, delete this part from the URL, and then we can see all the activities that are related to this client IP. We can see that from the beginning, he only accessed from February 4th to February 23rd, and he basically only started to use this page, the suspicious page, and executing commands. Probably, if we go back to this one, we can find another IP that has been used before, or has been used to upload this PHP file. So we know this one. We can look at that one. And this is also started from February 5th, so it's a little bit after, to February 9th, and also he's directly requesting this file. We can go through the 5 IPs trying to understand which one. We can also remove this one so we have better clarity on what this IP was doing. We have it from February 5th and has been very minimal requests with this IP. we can go through all the other IPs trying to see if any one of them has created that file. Or we can just take that file name and search for it inside the logs. See if it appeared anywhere inside the logs, and we need to see here the first time it has been appeared. Maybe the first time will help us to understand what exactly had happened. So we see that it has appeared first time with a GET request, so we don't know exactly how it has been uploaded. Maybe it has been uploaded in an encoded message or something like that. We need to investigate further. What else can we do? We can look through these clients and see if they have a user agent is in common. Probably he's changing his IP, but he's using the exact same browser or exactly the same system. Some of these attackers, they mostly use Linux, for example. Sorry. They might be using Linux, for example. How we can investigate that? We can take just one of them and then look at the user agent. Probably the user agent will be here. We see that the user agent is this user, and we can see it's Mozilla, Linux or Android, and then it has 6P build and some information about his user agent. Probably all of them are using the exact user agent. That's probably, if they are not different people, we believe that is the same attacker, so we can just search through the web attacks for anyone that has this user agent. And you can see here the first time it appeared on 4th of February, and it has appeared as well with this PHP request, with a request to this suspicious PHP file. And we see that's happening along the way. So what else can we do? Well, we can see what all the pages have been requested using this user agent. We can do here, go here, and then say stats count. So the how many times. The stats is basically showing you a table of statistics, and we want to see the number of times each URL has been used. We don't really care about the count, as we care about the number of pages that have been accessed by this application, by this user agent. So we can say count by, and then we look for here file. So count by file. We will see all the files have been requested by this user agent. We see that most of the requests were on this PHP file, but there is also other files that has been accessed, or other pages inside the website have been accessed. We can click on each one and see what type of commands that has been used with it. Changelog, we can click view events. Well, just requesting the changelog page. Nothing surprising here. Maybe they are looking here for the version, because this file changelog.txt might include all the recent updates and the last update for Drupal. So he knows what exactly the vulnerabilities they have. We see that the first request has happened on the 4th of February. We can go behind a little bit, and we see that this ps.php has been requested, and we can see that this one looks like it also takes a command. So it looks like maybe it is a page that he dropped also inside the system, a malicious file, a malicious PHP file, and he's using it to request to create some commands, or probably it is part of Drupal and it hasn't been injected inside Drupal. It's part of Drupal and it's actually executing commands by just using C equal and then the command that you want to execute on the server. This is a very easy to detect vulnerability if it's an actual vulnerability, or it is a malicious shell he actually downloaded inside. He also accessed the register. We can see some events that happened here, and he tried to register some some information. He's trying to access register page. Nothing looks very suspicious here. We can check the s.php, and we can see also takes exactly the same command. So it looks like this is a page that has been a shell that has been injected inside the system. Probably we don't have the logs when that being injected inside Drupal. We might not have the logs exactly from the beginning, but we see this page is here. This has been accessed and has been used to execute some commands. We can also see that with this user agent, we can see how many IPs that actually use that user agent. We only see 3 of them, the 108.5 and the 6.3, the 108.5, and then the 19 and the 217. So if we return back to this file again, if we set file equal and this file, we had 5 different IPs that have been accessing it. 3 of them, they use the same exact user agent, but 2 of them hadn't used the same exact user agent. This one has been using the same user agent as this one and as this one. So this one is different and this one is different. We can check each one of them. We can check this one, for example, and see what is the difference in the user agent. Do they have a completely different user agent or not? We see that still Mozilla, Linux, Android, and so on. Maybe it's a little bit different here and there, but still includes Linux, still includes Android. We can even do a search. Rather than we do search by user agent, we can do a search like this. Just NASA's DB build, and we see how many of them included these letters. We have seen 162, and we see the 5 client IPs. So we see that all these IPs have been coming from exact same account, from exact same system. They're all from this NASA 6P build, and they are all targeting this system, and they're all executing malicious code, doing malicious activities through the website. There's other things we can do here. I'll just show you some of the abilities that Splunk has. We can do like that and search with regex. Regex is a query language that's being used to query on different strings. It makes it very, very easy to search inside data. And you can do something like this NASA's GB build and say that the user agent is equal. It includes this file, so it starts with any information. This 0 asterisk in regex means anything, any letter. So there's something at the beginning we don't know, and then we see NASA's 6P build and then dot asterisk. So there's other things happened after. To explain again, this regex, you put the variable that you want to search on. Let's say you want to search in the user agent, or you want to search in file, or what's exactly the variable that you want to search in, and then equal, and then between double quotation you put your query. With regex is a really query language. It has lots of things, but the easiest thing to learn now is dot asterisk. Dot asterisk means anything with any amount of letters. If you just do like that, it will show you all the user agents you have in your system. You can see here the user agents that it targeted. If we go to user agent, we see there's over 100 user agents have appeared that are equal to user agent to has basically be exactly like this query. You can make this query a bit more tight and say anyone that includes any letters, any amount of letters, and then Android, and then Android like this, and then any letters after. So in the middle of the user agent, somewhere in the middle, the word Android has appeared. We can click here, and then we'll get less data, as you can see, and the user agents, there's 15 user agents that include the word Android. You see this one, that one, this is the 15 user agents that basically has the word Android, as you can see. Maybe we want to be more specific and we want to say, well, it included Nasus, or was Nasus? I don't remember. What was the user agent I was searching for? Yeah, Nexus, sorry. Nasus, I work in Nasus. So Nexus. So user agents include any letters, that's dot asterisk, anything, and then Nexus, and then anything after. So we see here that we have 162 events, and we have in the user agents, we have only one user agent that included that, which is this user agent. And we have 5 IPs that actually connected to this user agent. So we have 5 IPs that's connected to from Nexus phone and try to access this Drupal website and try to do malicious activities. That's just a little bit of querying what's exactly some of the ways to be using Splunk. You can also do even more and more queries. You can say, give me the count of requests has been done for every file by each IP. So I want to see per each IP how many all the files they have accessed, or all the, let's say, all the URLs they have access, and how many times they access each page of it. So we can do a query like that. Let's say, sorry, the number of pages, the number of files have accessed by client IP. Here's the count, will appear per file, per client IP. So you can see here, here's the IPs, here's all the files that have been accessed. Let's make it easier to read. We do like that. So client IP appears first, and you can change the sort, but this will be sorted by IP. So this IP have accessed only this page and accessed 6 times. This IP has accessed multiple pages inside the Drupal account, Drupal website, and they access this one 20 times, and they access other pages. This IP also accesses multiple pages, and these 2 IPs only access this malicious page. So it's a good way to understand what's might be happening. You can also include the time. You can also include the minimum time, let's say, as you can say, give me the minimum time, and name that variable to min time. And as well, give me the maximum time for this request, the maximum time you saw in this 6 requests or this 10 requests, the maximum time, and name it or show it as a variable named max time. If we click here, we will see here it will show us the count, the minimum time, and the maximum time. You don't understand anything from this number, but this represents the timestamp, the minimum timestamp for that request, for the first time this request had happened on this page. You can convert it into a readable format by just using this pipe and then say convert, and then ctime, and then convert the time, the minimum time, to be a readable format. So you can click like that and it will show it in a readable format. You can do exactly the same with the other one, convert ctime max time to show this time in a readable format. This is some of the things that Splunk can do. Of course, we can go for way longer than that, and you will need more. And you will need more a crash course on how to use Splunk. This is a fast demo to show you how Splunk and what's the capabilities and how log analysis might look like. Probably with a bigger log, we can see how this attack happened first time, how these files have been uploaded, what exactly the vulnerability that had happened. We can look through all of these commands have been sent and see what exactly they do. If this is a live attack, we can actually do the request to this URL that we saw up here in the compiled base64 or the decoded base64. We can go and request this link and see what exactly the data that we receive, what exactly the commands he's trying to send to our system. What we all know here is that he's trying to kill cron jobs, which is like scheduled jobs that do the logging. We can see that he's closing different applications here, including IB tables, which is the firewall, the syslog, the cron, different things he's trying to kill, as well as other things up here. And then he is trying to request this URL and execute the code at the end. All the return, he is trying to execute them at the end by sh, and that's what he's trying to do. And we can look through all the other requests and see how they look like exactly. This is a very simple demo on how Splunk can be used. We can use regex to query and use regex. Regex is a really easy query language that can get very, very specific into what exactly you're looking for, how this data looks like, how many numbers and how many digits, and then how many letters, and then a dash, then a dot, then this and that. So it can really go into checking the string exactly. You can use any variable up here, like user agent or file or whatever the data you want to use, as well as you can use _row to search through all the log file, all the log entry, rather than searching for only one parameter inside it. And again, we saw how stats work, which represents the count per each client, per each file, per each client and file, per each combination. And sometimes you will not really need the count, but you will need the first time that appeared, the last time that has been appeared. And this is where you can use the minimum time, maximum time, and as well convert them into readable format. We can see, let's say for this IP on this page, he started requesting to it from 13th of February to 15th of February. So you can see this data clearly through these logs. Hope that was helpful. This is just a sample demo for Splunk. You can do very similar requests as well in ELK, which is Kibana, Elasticsearch, and so on. You can do similar queries, and there's also other tools like premium tools like Logarithm and others that can also have interesting queries and interesting searches inside the logs. That's it for this demo, and see you in the next slides. Bye bye.